So Sid, Timeless Artificer. 2 white, blue, 4 mana total for a legendary creature, Human Artificer. It's a 4/4. Artifact creatures and heroes you control get +1/+1 for each Artificer you control and each Artificer card in your graveyard. A deck can have any number of cards named Sid, Timeless Artificer. Cycling, white, blue. On its own as a vanilla, not the worst. And it also gives a anthem effect to your artifact creatures, which so the hero tokens specifically, I think we should call this out, are not artifacts. They are just colorless. They are just colorless 1/1. So this is not pumping every single job select card that you have. Oh wait, sorry. It literally says heroes on it. Yeah,
It
read the
buffs the heroes.
freaking card.
Yeah,
So it is pumping your actual heroes
yeah.
because that's what it says on the card, which is actually pretty stinking nice. I do think that this is good, kind of on its base, even without any additional like artificers. And frankly speaking, how many are there accessible in the set? Like not many, right?
There is a common Artificer in white,
Card
4 drop that
okay,
draws your
1.
card. There is an uncommon Artificer in black, a 3 mana 2/3. And that's about it.
Okay.
And there's one rare,
That's
but who
about
cares?
it. Not many, but one common is actually pretty
One common is
big. I think it's fine. I think it's pretty decent enough to give it like a B-.
Yeah, it's in the
on, like,
graveyard as
whatever.
well.
Yeah.
By the way, there's like a team in Final Fantasy where there's a Sid, and he's always some kind of Artificer, something about technology. There's Sid in basically every Final Fantasy game, and it can be anything. Like it can be a random NPC, it can be a very important character. I think he can join the party. I kind of forgot as well. It can be anything. But so there is like, I think something like 14 Sid alt arts from every Final Fantasy game where he was featured. He's a completely different character. He's just always something with technology. So that's really cool for you, Scotty, right? Yeah. Anyways, yeah. It's in the graveyard as well. So it is 4 mana. That's a lot. But just because it counts things in the graveyard as well, I'm gonna give it a B- as well. But it could be lower because it is 4 mana. It's pretty nice.
Are you giving this a in color grade?
Sure. A B?
That's like a B.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Tidus Blitzball Star. For 1 and a white and a blue, it's a 2/1. Whenever an artifact you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on Tidus. Whenever Tidus attacks, tap target creature an opponent controls. There's a decent amount of artifacts. That's a decent effect. That's a very big stat line and there's the battlefield. I think because it's a 3-drop, not a 2-drop, it looks better than what it actually is. It's also legendary, so you can't have more than one. There is a good amount of artifacts. I'm gonna be on a C for now. What do you think, Scotty?
In order for this to really start being a big nightmare in combat, you probably need like 2 counters on it. Because a 3/2 is really easy to block if your opponent just has like 2 bears
With anything.
and trade with. However, I do like the play pattern that you can just sit back on this and have it grow and then attack when need be. So I'm a little bit more optimistic than a C. I'll give it a C+.
I can go to C+.
Do you want to give it an in-color C+?
No, I'm okay with the C+ as well. Just because, like, so usually you really don't want to sit back with your 3-drops, right? It's like you play a 3-drop, if it has to sit back, it better have a crazy effect. Like drawing a lot of cards, getting a lot of different creatures on the battlefield, things like that. But now I just thought a little bit about this card, and if you're sitting back with it, opponent needs to have 2 blockers for you to make you sit back with it. right? So it's not actually just sitting back, right? If opponent is swinging with their creatures, you can attack with this one because you tap the last one that they played or that they have. If they're keeping 2 blockers back, that means you're sitting back with this, but they're sitting back with something else. So that's just fine. I'm on a C+. This could be better than Sid, actually. In color, B-.
Sure.
Yeah, this is actually really good now that I think about it. It's a very good pattern, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't trigger it, like if you're attacking and your opponent's attacking you, you ain't winning that race. if you're not growing this.
Yeah, but you
But
are going to be growing it, I think.
yeah, you're probably going to be growing it.
And it's not really like that you're not winning this race, because like, okay, you're curving out, right? They have a 4-drop, you attack with this and anything else, and you go through. You play a 4-drop, just a 4/4, right? Whatever, no text. They don't attack with everything unless they have something. Right? They're 2-drops, 3-drops are not attacking now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna B- actually.
Okay.
In color B- as well, or then you don't want to?
Yeah, sure. Locke Cole, 1 blue-black for legendary creature, human rogue. It's a 2/3 with death touch and lifelink. Whenever Locke Cole deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. 3 mana 2/3 death touch lifelink is good. that's pretty solid already for a 3-drop. And whenever it hits the opponent, loots. Yeah, this is totally solid gold card. Totally solid gold card. I think this places it at like. I think this places it at B-.
This is very good. Yeah. I'm okay giving this a B. We can go B in color as well, but it's so good.
Yeah, solid all around.
Carries the equipment extremely well as well.
I believe a long time ago, we had Tomebound Lich, which I think was a 1/3 death touch lifelink with this effect. I'm not sure if that had an ETB as well.
It had the same ETB effect, yes.
Oh, it had an ETB as well. Okay.
But this has 100% more power.
Oh, it does have. Ooh, there you go. It has 100% more power.
Yeah, it sounds funny.
It's mathematically the truth.
But it's not just mathematically the truth. Like, it's the same importance in the game.
Well, because also double lifelink as well is actually extremely good.
It's always like that with 2-drops and 3-drops. Like, I know you're laughing, but it's something I see a lot of times, and I see it in coaching as well. It's like just 1 power. Yeah, when you get to 6-drops, then 5-drops, then it is just 1 power, just 1 more power. When it's 2-drops and 3-drops, 1 more power makes them sometimes from bad to one of the best 2-drops, from bad to one of the best 3-drops. Just
the break
power.
Points. Well, on Death Touch, okay, this
it's lifelink, right?
Yeah, the lifelink is the important part. With Death Touch, the breakpoints don't matter quite as much. Because like breakpoints and stats is why stats matter so much on low drops. But Death Touch kind of makes up for that. But still, double lifelink is incredible.
Yeah, it's same for the flyers. I don't know. You get a 2/1 flyer for 2, which is always nice. You add 50% more power. Oh, it's just 1, like just 50. No, it becomes the craziest 2-drop you've ever seen. It's similar to like you have a 2/2. It becomes with some text. It becomes a 3/2, probably one of the best 2-drops in the game, and that's 50%. It's same here. Like sure, yes, Lich had ETB effect, which might be better, but when you attack with Lich, opponent is like, okay, I can still attack and win the race. That's okay. With this one, it's gonna be very hard to win a race. This is 4 life swing on a 3-drop, so kind of really want to block it. So yeah, I'm giving it a B. And I'm in color, I guess B, since you gave it a B-, right?
Yep.
Black Waltz number 3. For 2 and a black and a red, it's a 2/2 flyer with that touch. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Black Waltz number 3 deals 2 damage to each opponent. I remember this when I saw it first time on the ship. Vivi was so sad at the time. This is weird. It does trade with anything, so that's cool. It does die to anything, so that's not cool. There are a good amount of like any non-creatures, right? So any equipment that you play is gonna deal 2 damage to their face. I think it's enough, right? Usually we say like 4 mana 3/3 flyers are nothing special these days when they were pretty amazing like 7 years ago or something. Maybe even 6. I like this card. Every equipment is a non-creature spell. And just this dealing 2 damage in the air. Man, the 2/1 flyer in blue that makes a 1/1 is gonna be so freaking good in this set. Like there are just these random 2/2/3/2 flyers around. I actually think this is good. I think this is very good. I think it closes games. It closes games. And it being able to trade if you really need it to, if you're not winning the race, is fine. It being a flyer is also huge because you can deal that 2 damage per turn a lot of times. I'm gonna start it as a C+, in color B-, but it could be better than that. What do you think, Scotty?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't know. I don't quite remember when the last time we've seen a double damage. There's probably one pretty recently, but I'm thinking like Gutter Snipe, but it adds up extremely quickly, the damage. So I'm also on a C+.
Scotty, should we go with color? Let me see just one thing. Oh, there is no.
I don't know what you just said.
We are not getting we are not getting these. We're not getting all the.
Are we missing cards?
Oh wait. Wait a second. There is not just one Dimir, right? Right, Scotty?
Yeah, that seems weird. And there's also one Rakdos card on the sheet. Let's double check that.
Is that really how it is? No way that there's like one Dimir and one Rakdos card. Like I'm just gonna quickly check. Sorry guys.
Yeah, let's make sure to double check. No, that's just how the set is.
What?
There's only one Dimir in common.
No, there's 2.
There's 2?
Yep.
What's the second one?
Second one is Ultimecia, Time Sorcerer. And there's Garland in Rakdos. Why don't we see them?
Yeah, why don't we see that?
Just 1 second. Maybe they're not added.
Is it because they're flip cards? Because they're transform cards, huh?
Oh. But oh. So how are they? Where can we get them?
Yeah, where are they?
Where can we get them?
Because they're DFCs. Yeah, because they're DFCs.
But that has never happened with this list. We always had everything ready. Oops.
I have no idea where it is on this sheet. Whatever, we can just continue go down. We'll come back to it. Weird, but
that is weird. That is the. You see them on yours, Zaya, on this set review? Let me just try it one thing. No, I don't see them at all. Okay, so how do you see them? How do you have them ordered? They're all uncommon. Sorry about this, guys. Gold sort number. Gold number. Gold. And I don't see
mine doesn't
them.
have it.
Because I think I saw them before when I checked. Guys, just 1 second. We gotta get all the cards in. Misha goes up after lock. What browser are you using? Maybe it's because of the browser. Let's refresh. Nope. Control Shift Delete. Control Shift Delete. This is Firefox. Control Shift Delete. I did it.
Huh.
That's weird. 1 second. We gotta get the cards in. I tried using Opera. I usually use Opera, but it's a little bit weird for me there. This set. Let me just check with the Chrome. Control Shift Delete. Well, that's what I clicked. Control Shift Delete.
Okay, I think there might be some issues with the site, because if I sort by uncommons and commons, I get a Mythic, I get MXL,
Wait.
and I also get Ultimecia.
Wait.
If you add to the filter commons, you get a Mythic, and then Ultimecia.
Well, let me... 1 second. We're gonna continue in a second, guys. Let me see it on Chrome. Maybe we can get it there to work.
Yeah,
normally.
I think the sorter is a little bugged, unfortunately.
But the other cards work normally, right?
Yeah, we seem to be okay with colorless, except for the fact that there's some starter deck cards in there.
Let me see. Checking on Chrome real quick. But it's super slow for me on Chrome. Super slow for me on Chrome. Okay, so you sorted by commons and uncommons, right?
Yep.
Now I get that Mythic, but... Oh, but everything else works fine. Okay, we're just gonna skip over the Mythics then. Alright. Well, let's get to Ultimecia then. The other Dimir card. You can go, Scotty.
Ultimecia, Time Sorceress, 3 blue black for a legendary creature, human warlock. It's a 4/5. When Ultimecia enters or attacks, surveil 2. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay 4 blue black, which is 8 mana, and exile 8 cards from your graveyard. If you do, transform Ultimecia. How do you flip a card on this website? I kind of thought you just had to hover over it.
Have you always had normal flip?
Oh, it's spacebar. Thank you.
It's what?
It's spacebar.
Nice.
It flips to Ultimecia Omnipotent. Legendary creature, Nightmare Warlock. It's a 7/7 with Menace. Time compression. When the creature transforms into Ultimecia Omnipotent, take an extra turn after this one. Ultimecia is pretty dang strong. So yeah, a 5 mana 4/5 is not great, but it's probably going to be like on curve, at least a reasonably statted creature. The Surveil 2 can help you dig for things to clear it as a way for an attacker, or as an attacker, etc. But yeah, a kind of bad but passable stat line. Value on ETB can help you dig towards things to get continued value when you continue attacking. And if it just sits here, blocking like a 3-drop, a 4-drop, etc., and then eventually you get 8 cards and 8 mana and you flip it, it becomes pretty dang big.
And you got an extra turn? That's a lot.
Yeah, and an extra turn. That's a lot of value. That's a lot of value for this card. I think this is very good. I'm giving this a B.
Well, I don't think it's very good. I
don't think it's very good.
Pretty bad. It is a 5 mana 4/5. That is small.
Yep.
That is not reasonably sized. That is very small. You only get one body. Surveil 2 is really good on turns 5, 6, and so on. 8 mana is crazy a lot to pay. Did you get a 7/7 on extra turn? You basically did nothing except attack that turn, right? But you do get an extra turn, which is... It's not nothing. It's powerful. But I think it's too much. Like I think most of the time it's gonna be extremely important how good is this as a 5-drop with no transform ever. If you don't even think about it. I think that's gonna be by far the most important part about the card. If you made a lot of bodies here, then I would be like, okay, yeah, let's do that. But also has to attack. Like Surveil 2 and Surveil 2 is quite a lot. I think I'm gonna go for the plus. And I was thinking about giving it just a D, because it's a small body with nice effect. It's nice effect. It's nice. If you can surveil for 4, that's quite a lot. You must kill it before it flips. I don't think you do have to kill it before it flips. I mean, it's really nice. It's basically gonna be now you got a 7/7, very good, and you get an extra card. Like
Well, you get to attack with a 7/7, right?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yep.
D plus, I think that's a gift, but we cannot give it a ceiling. I think the ceiling is C minus. So no
Yeah,
ceiling.
I think that I think consistently. So now I'm attacking you personally. I think consistently you give a lot of these sub-statted high drops really low grades because they're not on par with vanilla, but they always block lower drop creatures, and I think that's all they need to do.
I think
Like
that's
I think 4/5 for 5 mana is not that bad because it's larger than 2 drops, 3 drops, 4 drops. And I think that's an extremely important thing. But if they remove it immediately, obviously, pretty chunky, pretty bad. But if they don't, it successfully stalls the ground. And I think that's all it needs to do. That's all Ultimecia needs to do.
okay. So for me, that is the bare minimum of the card not being an F. Like if it doesn't do that, it's an F. That doesn't make it all it needs to do. That is, it makes it not unplayable card that is literally never gonna end in your deck. For 5 drops and 6 drops, this is my theory, and it's been for a long time now. 5 drops and 6 drops, they're unplayable if they don't block every single creature, basically every single creature that costs less than them. They're an F, and them being able to makes them not an F, which is a D minus as a start. And then let's see if they're better than that. When there are multiple bodies, when they give you multiple bodies, when they give you maybe a good amount of card draw, when they give you life gain, that's where I'm like, okay, that's all they need to do. This is for me, like all my 5 drops and 6 drops need to do is they need to be multiple bodies, give me life, and or have a crazy effect or something, like draw 2 cards. What do you think about it?
I mean, I think you're asking for a lot. I think you're asking for cards that would, for me, be in like B plus range. I think we're on the same page about Surveil. I don't necessarily disagree with you about it blocking everything. I just don't think the difference between like a 5/5 and a 4/5 here is massive. I just think that this literally stalls the ground and has an extremely good effect. So I don't know what else you want.
So I think it's kind of, I think 5/5 is pretty big difference on this because it makes it so it can attack easier, right?
Do you not think surveilling 2 in order to find something that can help you attack helps it attack?
I don't know if the mirror is gonna be doing that, but no.
I mean,
no.
like for
no, I don't think that it does. I don't think it does. It's same like drawing cards. I don't think it helps it attack. It just gets you more cards. It just gets you different cards. If I'm playing an aggressive deck, which Dimir is probably not gonna be, maybe it is. Then I don't want these 5 drops, but then I have things that help me attack, right? Usually for what Dimir usually does, and I think it's pretty good at doing that here, is draw cards and so on. So I don't want a single-bodied 5 drop. The problem here is not that it's not a 5/5. The problem here is just a single body. With a pretty
how confident are you? Your opponent plays Ultima on 5, Ultimecia on 5. Turn 6, untaps, attacks you, and you have a pair of 3/3s. How confident are you pulling that double block?
I don't need to block. I don't need to block.
Okay. And then Ultimecia has surveilled 4 cards at that point on a 5-drop. Pretty stinking strong.
Yeah. They also need 8 mana. And they also tapped their 5-drop.
Okay.
Like, I'm super confident at blocking, right? If I'm in the position to block. But if I'm in the position where I'm attacking, because the opponent is playing a single-bodied 5-drop, that's gonna be so good for me when I play Ultimecia. Like, I don't even really care that it has this 8 ability. It's mostly this, even though it's mostly like 4 or 5, like... It's not easy to attack with 5-drops. Like, they need to be like doing everything while not attacking. That's what I expect from 5-drops. Unless they have crazy effects when they attack. Not surveil. I mean, adding stats, doing a lot of things. When it attacks, it has draw. No. Surveil 4 is not draw 2 cards. It's just not. It's just a single-bodied 5-drops. That's the problem that I have. Not like. If it drew you a card, then I don't know. That feels a bit better. I don't know. It's always gonna be like that for me. It's like, when did we have a good 5-drop that's a single body?
Panicked Altasaur.
Which one?
Panicked Altasaur.
In LCI?
Yep.
The 4/5 that deals 2 damage?
Yep.
So it never needed to attack.
That's true.
And then we had a 4/5 with, and it had reach, right?
It did have reach, yes.
A 4/5 with reach, and it was not that good. I think the better one was like in Aether Drift, 4/5 that every single turn for free.
That card also didn't need to attack.
Yeah, and never needed to attack and had reach.
Yep.
And those are so much better effects, I think, than the rail for 2, if it's not going to attack.
That's a good point. Neither of those needed to attack.
That's what I
Screen
need.
Puff might be a better example, but that card is hard to block. Yeah. So
which one?
These are good points. Screen Puff was also pretty good, but it was hard to block.
Which card?
4 and a black, 4/5 with Death Touch. When it dealt damage to a player, you make a food. I think.
It was 4/5, but it also had Death Touch, so it can never be double blocked.
Death Touch is a big deal. Yep.
And it had an effect that when it attacks, you can gain life, right? So you're kind of fine attacking with your 5-drop.
What?
It makes food, right, when it connects.
Oh, sure, when it hits, yeah. When it hits, yeah.
And so that's actually hard to block without you needing anything.
That's reasonable.
I really don't want my 5-drops to need something for them to attack. Like, that's also the bare minimum. That's not the thing that I like about 5-drops. It's like the bare minimum. At least they can attack and be very, very, very hard to block. Because I'm waiting to get to that 5 mana to finally play them. Yeah,
I think your arguments are good and very successful. I've lowered my grade by an entire letter grade at this point.
What do you give it?
C+.
I still think it's a B+ before?
No, sorry, C. B. Two things, 2 notches.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. I'm on a D+.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Still. D+.
Yeah.
I wish this is good.
You're crazy.
If this is really good and the set is really, really slow, I really wish this is good. Yeah. That's my wish. Sorry about it.
All right, you wanna go to the next card?
Yeah.
Garland, Knight of Cornelia. Garland, Knight of Cornelia is black-red for a legendary creature, Human Knight. It's a 3/2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, surveil 1. 3 black, red. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield transformed. Activate only as a sorcery. Transforms into Chaos the Endless, which is a legendary creature demon, 5/5 with flying. When Chaos dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. Okay, so this is a 2-drop. Has pretty nice stats for a 2-drop. And gets a sort of decent chunk of value throughout the game. Remove something, surveil 1. Play a job select equipment, surveil 1. Right? This is very good. I think this is very, very good. And when you trade it off, and you're super happy trading it off, eventually, and I do mean eventually, like super late in the game, you get a 5/5. Shrug. Might as well.
7
Might
mana
as
is
well.
doable, right? If it already
Doable,
did
very
its thing.
expensive, but you helped bridge the early game by trading off, and then eventually, if things stall out, you get a 5/5. It's just free value. It's good. It's good.
It's very good.
So this is a B to me.
So it's only in Rakdos. Still very good. I'm gonna B, sure. But I don't think it's a B plus in color. Just a BB, I think. But it's not a B plus. It's a very nice 2-drop. You can also mill it, so that's fine. Yeah, beautiful card. Beautiful card. Not this one. Next up, Gladiolus How do I say this? Amicitia?
You're the Final Fantasy guy. You think
Yeah,
this
but I
is an
didn't play.
English,
Everything is
an English word?
So many cards are Final Fantasy 15. I know Kuja, but I called him Kuya, which means bitch in my language. And I didn't know for a good amount of time. I was a small kid then, and I was sure that this guy is a lady. And he looked very good to me as a lady back then. I remember that. So he doesn't look like that here. It was different then in the game, and but then maybe that made me question my sexuality back then when I figured it out. Anyways, this one is Final Fantasy 15, so I don't know these things. I don't know new games. After 12, I don't really know them. 6 mana, 6/6. Amicitia, I don't know. When it enters, search your library for land card, any land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. It has a landfall ability. Whenever a land you control enters, another target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. So 6 mana, 6/6, that's it. But when it enters, any other creature gets a +2/+2 trample. Kind of good effect. Only good for attacks though. It does ramp you as well when you have 6, which sometimes matters. There are some creatures that care about you having 7 lands, right? It's 7.
Yeah, which hits you exactly to 7.
So yeah, so you get to 7. Or if you ramped into it somehow different, it's... There's only 2 commons that care about 7 lands. Are there more? I thought there were more. I know there's like 1 blue and 1 green common. But then every other land... Sorry, what?
No, just two commons is not nothing.
Yeah, but one of them is blue. But you can splash this, I guess. And one of them is a 4 mana 4/4, but it becomes a 6/6. And there's a 2 mana 1/4 that becomes a 4/4, which all of a sudden, like, it's really damn big. Oh. I mean, it's pretty good. The problem is that it only helps you attack. Yeah, there is mana sinks in the format. I agree with that. I like this one. I'm gonna go to B-.
Yeah, I mean, it attacks as not an 8/8 because it can never target yourself. That's a shame. But yeah, it's pretty big. Pretty big. I'll go B- as well.
In color, I think it's still B-.
Yeah, it's funny because all these seem like we're giving like the same grades.
Yeah, kind of weird. But it is what it is. I do have a problem with 5-drops and 6-drops that make attacking better. There are some landfall triggers as well, so that's pretty cool, but... Yeah, usually I want to make defense better, so this could be like much weaker, like a C- or something we're gonna see.
Okay, next card is Rydia, Summoner of the Mist. Rydia? Whatever. Red, green for a legendary creature, human shaman. It's a 1/2. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Summon X tap. Return target saga card with mana value X from your hand. So from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. It gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcerer. This is a very bizarre card. This is a very strange because like stats wise it's almost nothing. Landfall is already a natural way to utilize extra land drops. Rummaging is a way to get rid of extra land drops, which is very strange tandem of abilities, considering like what are you pitching at that point? Lands? So then
2 drops. Maybe
you're
you
kind
need
of
lands. Maybe you need more
yeah.
lands.
So it's not
Sagas.
nothing, but it's not as good as it possibly could be on like another tied to a different type of
Like, you can
effect.
pitch a
I
saga.
I do like the summon ability. Yeah,
Yeah.
pitching the sagas, like I guess that's the joke here, right? Pitching the sagas is actually pretty good. Pitching the sagas is actually pretty good. Um, there are a lot of saga creatures throughout all the rarities, right? So I think it's
And
pretty
there's 3
reasonable for
common
you to
ones
be
and 5 uncommon
yeah
ones.
yeah. So uh, like it's pretty reasonable to get something here. But the body is the big question mark here because the body on a 2-drop is very bad. It's very, very bad. I think this is like a C overall. Like kind of just middle of the line, reasonable to good effect and very bad body.
I think this first one is very powerful because it's 0 mana to loot, to ramage.
Yep.
I think 0 mana to ramage is very powerful. The thing about sagas is there is a common one in red, green, white. And, well, we are gonna... That's a good amount, like 1 common in red, 1 common in green. And then the other ones, there's the black one and the uncommon ones are all single pips, but in black and green, sorry, black and blue, they are double pips. The cool thing is that you can rummage that double pip saga, and then play it with this. So could lead to some interesting deck building decision. I like this a lot. It's 0 mana ramage, always powerful. When you get saga in the graveyard, they probably want to get rid of it. Green and red are, I think, both very good at getting lands. So that's important. I think they're pretty damn good at getting lands. So landfall is gonna be tied to some other cards, and you can get them to your hand as well. So I'm gonna be on a B- for this one. And it's fine if he dies. It's fine if he dies. That's completely fine. Can I just kill the 2-drop with a removal spell? Yeah, landfall, ramage. Loot would be significantly better. Next up we got Garnet, Princess of Alexandria. For green and a white it's a 2/2. Lifelink. Whenever Garnet attacks, you may remove a lore counter from each of any number of sagas you control. Put a +1/+1 counter on Garnet for each lore counter removed this way. Hello! Alright. So I told you that in Final Fantasy IX, when I was a kid, my brother was Vivi, my father was Steiner, and my mother was Beatrix. And the girl that I liked the most in school was Garnet. And she didn't have a name Garnet, so I didn't know that the name was Garnet for a while. I gave the name of that girl, and I remember what it was. It was Zrinka, and I never ever even considered trying anything with her because I kind of thought of her being dagger as well, yeah, very far out of my league, and yeah. But in the game, we did end up together. There's that. This is a pretty good card, right? Just a total lifelink is kind of nice if you're green. If you get a saga, holy moly!
I think we need to clarify some rules here. Removing saga counters does not trigger the previous chapter. We just have to make sure that people know that.
Okay, yeah. Removing counter, only adding counters, right?
Yep.
Triggers the effects. Ha! So, In green-white, we have like not a very good 3-mana saga. Kinda good 5-mana green saga. That's commons. And then uncommons are pretty damn good. And I mean, if you play a saga after this, there's a 3-mana uncommon green, 3-mana common white one, which I don't know if it's really very good. If this is... You're gonna get these effects again, right? Searching for a land, killing a creature, getting a 2/2, keeping the saga alive. Like, there's some of these effects are pretty damn good, especially the first ones. So the ceiling in sequencing of this card can be quite crazy. It can completely run over with a game. And if not, it's a 2-mana 2/2 lifelinker. So I'm kind of okay with this. And you can play like one saga, then another saga, and make it into a 4/4. Okay, this being like a B-, because you never splash for it, I think. The mana is, I don't think it's gonna be that good. And then B in color?
I think it'd be a B+ in color.
Okay, B+ seems good. B+ seems good.
Because, like, I mean, this is just insanely snowbally.
Yeah.
If you play sagas in the next 2 turns, then this thing is just like, you're not blocking this, you're not racing this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of absurd. But yeah, it's good. It's really good.
What do you get out of color?
B- as well. Yeah.
And it's not only that it snowballs by itself and gains you life and deals damage. It also gives you more effects from the saga.
Yeah, because you just keep retriggering like chapter 1 or whatever if you get on curve.
Yeah,
which is pretty stinking strong.
Pretty stinking
Rinoa Heartilly. 3 green white 5-mana for a legendary creature, human rebel warlock. It's a 4/4. When Rinoa Heartilly enters, create Angelo, a legendary 1/1 green and white dog creature token.
Okay.
Whenever Rinoa Heartilly attacks, another target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature you control. So unfortunately speaking, this can't pump itself, so it can't necessarily keep itself alive, but it attacks pretty dang well. This, like, on its own, without any assistance, it attacks as a 4/4 and a 3/3. Is that correct? Yes. For each creature you control, which is a pretty big beating. And also, this is multiple bodies on a blocker. It's multiple bodies on a blocker, which is actually pretty significant. So if you ever need to cast this and then throw the dog under the bus, which is horrifying, you can do that. And frankly speaking, it's pretty good. So yeah, I think this is solid. But it is a 5-drop. I think this is like a C+, but pretty powerful. Can get extremely large from there. Like, imagine you have a even bigger board than that. Green white supposedly is a go wide archetype.
And you don't have to buff that creature. You can buff something that is more important to you.
Yep.
And it's every single creature, not only attacking creatures. Still a 5-drop, but they gotta chill out when you have this, I think. What do you give
it? C+. 5-drop, but it's very powerful.
Yeah, C+ as well. In color? Probably C+.
In color, well. Gosh, it really depends on how wide you can get. Maybe this card is like the finisher, right? But I'll go B-.
I don't want to stay with C+. Okay, why am I staying always on the same? I don't know if it's really gonna be. Maybe it's a C. I think it also needs to attack. Maybe. Kind of weird. Also, these legendaries are maybe gonna be weaker because you don't want to have too many of them, right? I'm actually on a C. This is a 5-drop. I'm gonna be on a C. In color, I want to give it a C+, but sure, let's go B-. Judge Magister Gabranth. For white and black, it's a 2/2 with menace. Whenever another creature or artifact you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. Alright. Well, before we know if white-black is good, it's been really bad in a lot of sets. Usually it doesn't have the greatest card draw, but it doesn't have the greatest aggression. But this is if white-black is good, this is really good. It's a 2/2. All of these, by the way, guys, like all of these are really gonna depend how good the archetypes are, which is very hard to say before we kind of review everything, think about everything, and actually play a bit. But if white-black is good, 2/2 menace that grows, right? This is not a 1/1 that you usually get with no text, or a 3 mana 2/2 with no text, something. It's or every artifact is there, every treasure. Like, if this archetype is good, I'm taking this probably as a C+, and it's a B- in color, or maybe even higher. What do you think, Scotty?
I was gonna do a C+. So obviously things dying is a relatively large cost, and it really depends on whether or not this scales with the board. It can be a little difficult. Like you can dream amazing scenarios where this becomes like absolutely massive, but probably the most it's going to be is like, okay, scales enough to trade with 2 things, and that is good. That is good. So I think I'm giving this a C+ as well, B- in color.
The thing about this one is you don't have to wait. You can attack because it has menace. They gotta keep two
So it's already
creatures
a good
back.
2-drop.
Yeah. Like they gotta keep 2 creatures back. So you don't want to block, but you can attack unless they keep things back. And if they're keeping things back, you're keeping things back. Like it's kind of equal. It's not like, oh, I gotta do nothing with it. I cannot attack, I cannot block. Like you're probably attacking or they're not attacking. So that's fine. And it's a 2/2, right? It's already a 2/2. So how much does it need to grow? Artifacts, random treasures, and things like that. And there is some ways to sack things is pretty big as well.
Yeah, instant ramen. What'd you give it?
C+.
Okay.
The judge, right?
Yep, the judge.
Man, all of these being legendaries might just make them weaker, a lot weaker. Like same like Lord of the Rings, where in Lord of the Rings you really cared about legendaries. Here you don't.
We're on Rufus Shinra. 1 white black, 3 mana for a legendary creature, human noble. It's a 2/4. Whenever Rufus Shinra attacks, if you don't control a creature named Darkstar, create Darkstar, a legendary 2/2 white and black dog creature token.
Huh.
Yeah, so this is a kind of weird. this is kind of weird card.
Weird.
Obviously, if you attack, right, and this is like uncontested or something, it's a good amount of stats. It's a good amount of stats, and that's fine. Darkstar doesn't die, if you attack with Darkstar on the battlefield already, which is pretty significant. You just don't create another Darkstar. Obviously, like if you sack Darkstar first or trade off Darkstar and then attack, you just get another one. So that's like pretty stinking decent. But the 2/4 stat line to me is a little concerning. If it's not exactly on turn 3 on the play, pretty much. Because otherwise it needs a lot of help to be a good card. So I'm not a huge fan of this. I think this is actually a C-.
Turn 3, it's amazing.
Yep.
Later on, I don't know. So C- seems fine. In color C.
I don't even think this is amazing turn 3 on the draw.
That is also true. Yeah, it's kind of whatever. The Emperor of Ultimecia. For 1, these are all legendaries, by the way, so can't put more than 1 on the battlefield, which is a huge deal. I don't like that, because then you don't want a lot of them. Unless they have extremely powerful effects. For a blue and a red, this is a 2/2. You can tap it to add blue or red, spend this mana only to cast a non-creature spell. Whenever you cast non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. And after that, if it has 3 or more counters on it, you transform it into a 3/3 that says, whenever this thing attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of non-creature, non-land cards in your graveyard. Okay, 2 mana 2/2 that ramps you for non-creatures, any artifact, any job select card, any instant or sorcery, and there are really good ones. Also tiered ones, which we're gonna see soon. That can cost a lot. That's really nice. And then it can grow. It can become Well, it's not a 3-3. At that point, it's gonna be like at least a 6-6. That can deal a lot of damage. But it's not easy to do that. This one seems amazing. The problem again is legendary. Right? You can't just pick a ton of them. I think I'm gonna get like all these legendaries in the end like a little bit lower grade. What if you have 2 in your hand? Looting Ravaging is gonna be huge for these legendaries as well. Only this card is many times you're using flashback to pay 4 mana for a non-creature, which takes them out of the graveyard. That's not a problem at all, I don't care. Right? Who cares? Oh, 1 less damage with this part. This one is very good. I'm gonna be on a C plus B minus in color.
Huh. I was gonna go B minus.
I'm starting to downgrade the cards, but I'm gonna have to do that retroactively, maybe.
You trying to temper it because of all the legendary clauses?
2-drop legendaries. 2-drop legendaries, man.
Yeah. All right. Next card.
So what do you give it? What do you give it, Scotty?
I give it a B minus.
Okay.
Shantotto. Shantotto, Tactical Magician. 1 blue, red for legendary creature, Dwarf Wizard. It's an 0/4. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Shantotto gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast a spell. If X was 4 or more, draw a card. Interesting card. Obviously works a lot better with instants, threat of, well, casting something. It's a kind of bizarre sideways prowess. And if you're flashing stuff back, if you're just casting relatively expensive spells, it can eventually gain you value. I don't mind this. The turn it comes down, it kind of sucks. Every turn after that, it gets a lot more threatening. But like that turn cycle really has a tough time blocking. Like 0/4s for 3 mana, that sucks. That's pretty bad. But I think this has enough of an effect for me to be reasonably happy running this regardless. For me, this is a C+.
There are some nice 4 mana non-creature.
I think there's a healthy amount of them.
There's some equipment that costs 4 mana, right? In red, there's a warrior sword. The sagas are creatures.
Oh, yeah. That stinks. Because I'm not used to that. Sagas are creatures.
Yeah.
That sucks.
There is tiered magic, right? Uncommon in both red and blue. I'm okay with the C+ for this one. In color B-. Seems good to me. Still seems good to me. Cloud of Darkness. For 2 black and double green, that's 5 mana total. It's a 3/3 flyer. It has Particle Beam. When Cloud of Darkness enters, target creature an opponent controls gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. This feels like the most powerful one by a mile. Out of all the uncommons that we've just seen. Do you agree with that?
I mean, this is just flying troops.
Yeah, flying troops a little bit on steroids, because it feels like there's a good amount of ways to get things back into your graveyard. And also sagas go there. This one I'm just gonna give a B and a B+ in color. I have a hard time believing this is not gonna be one of the best uncommons in the game in this set.
Yeah, it just really depends on how easy it is to get those things in the bin, and I don't think it's that hard. So B+ seems good to me.
I think that I'm gonna go to a B+ for this one, but we're gonna see.
Okay. Are you gonna start off at B?
Yes.
Also, it's not. Oh, it is legendary. Well, that's fine. Whatever.
Everything's legendary.
I'm totally fine casting the second one. Like this one, you're totally fine casting the second one. No problem. Exdeath, Void Warlock. 1 black green for a 3 mana legendary creature. Spirit Warlock. It's a 3/3. When Exdeath enters, you gain 3 life. At the beginning of your end step, if there are 6 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, transform Exdeath. Exdeath transforms into Neo Exdeath, Dimension's End, which is a star 3 trample. Neo Exdeath's power is equal to the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. Yeah, so it's just kind of a big chunker, but 3 mana 3/3 gain 3? is good. That is just good. That is just a good card already. I don't even necessarily need the flip to really matter. I'm pretty happy with this already. So for me, this is like a B minus. B.
3 mana, 3/3 gain 3. If you're grinding, this is really good. But the thing is, it's a legendary. It's a legendary. I'm just gonna give it a C plus and a B minus in color. Like, I think I'm gonna give all of them, most of them that I gave a high grade, lower grade. Like, you get 3 of these, and you're like, okay, I can play 1, and I hope I trade it. C plus, B minus in color. I mean, 3/3 gain 3 life is good, but is it really a B score in color? B for a 3 mana, 3/3. You're black green.
That scales up.
3/3 life. Most of the time, it's 3/3 life, right?
Yeah, most of the time. But if you draw in the late game, can be like huge.
Yeah, but still 3 power, 3 toughness.
Yeah,
so
that's all I want.
Things.
This is incredibly good at bridging you to the late game, and in the late game, it's pretty good. So that's pretty much all I want for the card.
Come on, like in Ixalan, the 3/3 with dinosaurs that gained you 3 life, it was not even close to a B. And it was not a
legendary. Because that card didn't grow into a Colossal Dreadmaw in the late game.
And this card also doesn't grow into Colossal Dreadmaw in the late game. Because it has 3 toughness.
Okay.
Right? Like, it's not even a comparison to a Colossal Dreadmaw. Right? That thing was not legendary.
We'll do in color B minus. I'm also on a B minus, that's why.
Yeah. I think it's gonna go down. I think all of these are gonna go down unless they're Cloud of Darkness or similar cards.
Hey, you're continuing to drink.
Sorry, what?
I'm fine with that. You're continuing to drink the haterade. And then
yeah, I'm drinking the haterade. It's like Legends.
It's okay to be a hater.
Yeah, can't play too many. Giott, King of the Dwarves. For a red and a white, it's a 1/1 double striker. When this thing or another dwarf you control enters, and whenever an equipment you control enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Okay. There's a lot of equipment. How many dwarves are there? How many dwarves are there?
There's one in common that's a 2/1.
Oh, there's a 2/1 in common. Okay. An uncommon?
In white.
There is nothing. There's like that wizard in other. There's a common good two-drop. There's a lot of equipment. Still legendary. Carries equipment extremely well. It ramages right away. This is a great. I don't care that this is legendary. I'm giving it a B minus and in color a B.
Okay, I'm giving this a B. But okay. It might just be I'm overrating legendaries. Good stuff. Yeah, this seems high quality. Lovely card. We are on Zidane? Yes. Tantalus Thief. 3 red, white for 5 mana legendary creature, human mutant scout. Cat, is it because he has a tail?
He has a tail.
It's a 3/3. When Zidane enters, gain control of target creature and opponent controls until end of turn. Untap it, gains lifelink and haste until end of turn. Whenever an opponent gains control of a permanent from you, you create a treasure token.
That's a lot.
Wait, what? Wait, what is that last line? Whenever an opponent gains control of a permanent from you. When it gets passed back.
Yeah,
it
gets passed back. Token.
I see. Okay. So it's not you as the owner. It's just if it changes control from your control to their control.
Yeah.
So when you pass it back, you create a treasure token. Yeah. Okay. I had to tilt my head at that one.
Lifelink?
Yeah. So lifelink is kind of nice. Lifelink is kind of nice on this. Which like sort of helps that fact that this is a very, very small creature. Very, very small creature. Kind of reminds me of like the card that it makes me think of Zealous Conscripts, but I think that Zealous Conscripts having haste is actually a huge part of that card. But lifelink is also extremely good. I don't love it. I think it's powerful. As a top end for your aggro deck, I think this is very, very, very good. And I think that, yeah, I actually think that most of these red-white decks will be quite proactive. So I actually think this is very, very, very good card. I'm giving this a B-.
There's a very cool thing. If opponent has the same legendary as you steal their legendary and it just dies.
Yeah, but what about the lifelink, Lola?
Okay, you lose the lifelink and you lose the treasure as well.
Unplayable.
Yeah, but you kill their legendary. And then they can play one of the 3 that they have lying in their hand again. I'm into this. What do you give it?
B-.
B-, sure. B in color. Like, this is very powerful. I think it could be even better. And when you steal something, it still retains the equipment on it. So, yeah, this is like a very good closer. And if you're racing against other aggressive decks, you probably win the race now. But it still is a 3/3. And I quite like it a lot. I think it's maybe even going to be splashable. And you get another treasure to splash more. So, maybe you care about our artifact. Next up, we got Ignis Scientia. For 1 and a green and a blue, it's a 2/2. When it enters, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And then it has, I've come up with a new recipe. For 1 and a green and a blue, you tap it. You exile target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, create a food token. That's a lot for a 3-drop. That is a lot. Yeah, that's quite a lot. So you got a 2/2 that gets you a land from top 6. You know what's on the bottom of your library. And then it can make food at instant speed. That's a lot. At least a B-. And a B in color. Or no, I'm gonna give it a B.
Yeah,
No.
you're thrilled to play this, get a land, trade.
That's really
We're also
good.
very, very happy if this survives eventually. Like, you could potentially shut down graveyard stuff, also eventually gain food or gain life. That's that's a lot, as you said. I have nothing else to add except I'll go as B as well.
Okay.
Good card.
B+ in color. Maybe a B in color, still B. It's just so good. It's just good, but really B+.
It's really good. Yep. Let's talk about Omega Heartless Evolution. 5 green blue for a legendary artifact creature robot. It's an 8/8 with Wave Cannon. When Omega enters, for each opponent, tap up to 1 target non-land permanent that player opponent controls. Put X stun counters on each of those permanents, and you gain X life, where X is the number of non-basic lands you control. So yeah, that's very interesting. Especially if you're splashing. I don't think it's unreasonable for this to like tap something, put 3 stun counters on something, gain 3 life. Not having an ability to block flyers is a little whack. Not having any evasion is a little whack, but it's a very good ETB. It is a very good ETB. 7 mana, kind of a lot. However, I do think that this archetype is designed to help you get there. So I'm not giving this like the normal 7 mana tax as I would. I think it's good. I think it's good. I think this is like a C+ in color B-.
7 mana is a lot. But these are blue-green probably gonna be fine at getting to 7 mana. It is gonna suck if you don't have non-basics, obviously. And 3 non-basics? Sorry, 3? Did you say 3?
I said if you're splashing.
But how are the boosters gonna be? Are you gonna have like a 50% chance to get a non-basic, same like in the last set?
That's a great question that I don't know the answer to.
Because that's gonna be so huge, so important, right?
Yeah. But I also think it's actually a benefit that blue-green is the town archetype, and no other colors care about towns as a thing. So you can snap up some towns that other people won't necessarily want. Like no one really, like as you said, no one You don't like Filter Town, cycling Filter Town, and then like, you know, your blue-green deck can pick that up when super late when other people don't want it. To be honest, Town sucking might help.
Yeah, I don't know if it helps because there's this suck. I mean, the multicolored towns, why do they suck? They don't suck. They're normal, right? How are the boosters gonna look? I'm just gonna give this C and for now and C plus in color, because I'm not sure how the boosters are gonna look. I think you get same like in a lot of sets 50%, but then the uncommons are pretty bad. In the last set you had a lot of tap lands because there were also uncommons that you were taking, and quite a lot of them. 55% of packs will have a town, so 13 per draft. Like 3 is very hard. If you can get 2, that's fine, right?
Why is it 55?
Wait,
What was such a random number? Okay, whatever.
I don't actually. Sure. Okay, that seems fine. If C plus, but I'm gonna give this a higher grade if you are gonna play decks with more towns, and if it's gonna be easier to get towns. But for now, this is what it is, and it's a legendary again. And we are done with uncommons. Okay, with multicolor uncommons. So Golgari, very good cards. Green has like some of the best ones. Like with Golgari, with Simic, and then red, white, they also seem pretty splashable. Then like green, I'm very happy with green ones. But then actually these are all pretty powerful. Most of them are pretty powerful. But green ones, like I think can splash a lot more of them. So that's really nice. All right, ready for rares?
The Sultai kind of dirtily deck with the decent amount of towns can utilize a lot of the good grindy cards in those colors. So
yeah, I
kind of
think
big fan of that one.
You also would like to get some red in there, right? With Rydia, maybe.
Why not get white then? All of it.
I'm not sure about white because like this is. I'm not sure about white as well. It's gonna be interesting. I hope that green is gonna be a splashy deck. It's always fun when there's one like super splashy archetype. Seems like it might be just from these uncommons. Let's get into the rares.
Hope Eschtime. Hope is a white and a blue 2-mana total for a legendary creature, human wizard. It's a 2/2 with lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent mills X cards where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. This is mostly a bear. In fact, this is a bear with a potential downside.
Yeah, downside, definitely downside.
So,
but lifelink.
Yeah, if you're battling Golgari and you're fueling your opponent's, cloud or whatever.
Well, or anything, or blue flashback cards.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of flashback in the set too. Oof. Yeah, so this is a 2/2 with downside.
No, it's not a 2/2. It's a 2/2 lifelink with downside.
2/2 lifelink with downside.
Huge difference.
Which is huge. I'm still not super high on this. This is a C for me. Well, actually, sorry. In color, I think it's like. In color, I think this is a C. So I'm probably taking this at like a D plus.
Yeah, I'm on a D plus. I'm on a D plus as well, but in color, I mean, with equipment, lifelink is pretty good with equipment. I'm on a C.
That's true. The Story Seeker was the best common in Kaldheim, and that was an equipment set. Or no, sorry, not the best, but it was a very good one.
That's a good one, yeah. C, still C in color. Still C in color because it's both colors, and it's legendary. I mean, rare. It's rare, so who cares? But it's red. It's both colors. So yeah, still C. Golbez, Crystal Collector. For a blue and a black, it's a 1/4. Whenever an artifact you control enters, surveil 1. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 4 or more artifacts, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Then if you control 8 or more artifacts, each opponent loses life equal to that card's power. Wait a second. So 2 mana 1/4, surveil when an artifact enters. We had that in Modern Horizons 3 as a flyer, maybe? No, not in Modern Horizons 3. Somewhere, we had it somewhere. Never mind. Okay, that's fine. A lot of artifacts in this set. Wait, if you get 4 of them, you return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That's a lot. That's a lot for a 2-drop. That's not Sitsy where you gotta sacrifice things and tap it. That's Surveil and then... It's not easy to have 4 artifacts, I think. But it's possible and it's a 2-drop. I'm gonna C plus B minus in color. Or B. I wanna be in color. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
is
probably
it
going
ever...
to take this as B minus.
Yeah.
And B.
Okay, B minus B seems fine for me as well.
Okay. I mean, I'm giving it high grade because of instant ramen.
Okay, Scotty.
Good stuff. Okay, so next card is Zandy. Shande. Dark Mage. 2 blue black for a legendary creature, human wizard. It's a 3/3 with menace. This gets +1/+1 for each non-creature, non-land card in your graveyard.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so this gets pretty big. In fact, it can come down pretty big. This is very strange to me. This stands out to me as a design from Wizards, being a rare yet being very simplistic card. It's just a huge menacer.
Yeah.
You know? It's just a big menacer. It kind of reads like an uncommon to me, like a good uncommon, but an uncommon. But it's still good. It's still good. It's still huge. Menace on a large creature, nice. It works nicely in tandem. Just means you can't chump block it the bigger this gets. Oh wait. Oh shoot. We got dupes again.
Fuck, it's 561. That's why it's so simple. 561. Why are we seeing these cards? Next. Why? It's always like it does feel like a starter card.
Yeah, I'm like, it does seem really simple. Balthier and Fran. One.
We are a mess today. We are a mess.
Thanks. 1 red green for 3 mana for a legendary creature, human rabbit. Oh. It's a 4/3 with reach. Vehicles you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance and reach. Whenever a vehicle crewed by Balthier and Fran this turn attacks, if it's the first combat phase of the turn, you may pay 1 red green. If you do after this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Okay, so there's like not that many vehicles in this set. But it is an overstated 3-drop. It is an overstated 3-drop. I mean, this is kind of interesting because as soon as you pick this up, and you might want this anyway because it's just a good, like a solid body 3-drop, stuff like Airship gets much better, right?
Yep.
Stuff like Airship gets much better.
That's basically the only... Like, the Airship is common and it's colorless, okay? Every other vehicle is blue, white, or black.
And I don't think, because the Airship is not like a, slam dunk colorless card, it's not unreasonable to pick an Airship up if you have this card. It's fine. It's fine. I probably take this at like a C, and like a ceiling is probably like a B minus.
You mean in color grade is B minus?
Yeah. But like, in addition to you having like vehicle, can get even better than that.
I mean, just being a 4/3 reach is pretty good, no?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's what it is most of the time. Almost always, right?
Yeah.
B minus seems fine for a 4/3 in color. Take it as a C. Yeah. Squall. Seed Mercenary. For 2 and a white and a black, it's a 3/4. He looks so young here. And cute. He didn't look like that when I remember him in the game. With bad polygons. Rough Divide. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains double strike until end of turn. Oh yeah, I've seen this. Whenever Squall deals combat damage to a player, return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So, enter the battlefield, some creature is gonna get a double strike if it attacks alone. This is a 3/4 double striker that, if it goes through, 2 things might come back and permanents. Oh, it can get back lands, right? As well. Yeah, this is pretty fucking good. B plus.
I mean, yeah, the equipment set. It's pretty stinking strong.
They gotta remove it. They gotta remove it. Most of the times they gotta remove this.
And it's just, you just chump or die pretty much. I'm gonna go B plus on this one. B plus.
Oh, Counter-attack with your whole board is a real thing, but yeah.
That's true. Let's talk about Tella. Great Sage. 3 blue, red. For a legendary creature, human wizard, that's a 3/3. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token. If 4 or more mana was spent to cast that spell, draw 2 cards. If 8 or more mana was spent to cast that spell, sacrifice Tella and it deals that much damage to each opponent. So it's that refers to how much mana you spent to cast the last spell. So it basically erupts and deals 8+ damage straight to the opponent's face. You will not get much for 5 mana the turn you cast this on curve. You get a 3/3.
You get very little.
Which is quite bad. The turns after that, it is very good at defending yourself. Like each equipment that you play, each spell, even card draw spells that you play can defend yourself. But it's
You sure?
It's
good at defending itself.
It chumps.
It does.
It makes chumpers.
How?
How
does it chump?
What do you mean? How does it chump? It makes a. Am I misreading this?
It doesn't make anything until you play a non-creature spell.
Yeah, that's what I said. Or like when you untap with this and
that feels horrible way of okay, it doesn't protect itself, right? It protects you, but that feels a horrible way of it's not what I meant. Like that is not something that is like super easy to do. You just play the 5-drop, right? It's not like it's not like now you're making a ton of 1/1s.
Sure. Like it like if you untap with this and play 2 non-creature spells, that is honestly speaking, the 4 mana aspect, draw 2 cards, is probably the most appealing part of this.
Yeah.
So like you play this, you survive, then you untap, and you draw 2 cards. I think that's kind of a tough ask. I don't think this card is incredibly good. So I think this is like a C+ ceiling, and I'm probably taking it as a C-. But it is pretty strong if you draw the 2 cards.
I think this is gonna be one of the worst performing cards in the set. Like 50% win rate on 17 lands. Or something like that. It's a 5-mana 3/3. 5-mana 3/3 is absolutely abysmal. And the reward, it needs you to do work. Right? You need to do work. I'm gonna play this card, try to make it work and so on. Sure. Yes, of course. But you need to do work for it. Like after you play it, then you need to do things. No ward is also crazy. No, it's not a really win more card at all. It's more like, if it survives, do you really have enough things in your hand, and maybe graveyard, to make this really good? Because I gotta say, drawing 2 cards doesn't seem appealing for me the next turn. Because you just play the 5-mana 3/3 that's not blocking. Then if you play something and draw 2 cards, you really need to get that body back, that board presence back. It's a win less card. That seems more like it. And it's not super grindy by itself. It doesn't provide anything by itself. When you have some decent stat line that has these effects, it's like, okay, nice, it's a real thing, and then it does nice things. This is not a real creature. This is nothing. So that's the first problem. And then it's a 5-drop. When you have a 2-drop, 3-drop, even 4-drop, you can think about like synergies with other cards. When you have a 5-drop that synergizes with other cards, you better like win the game, right? You better make 4/4s and shit like that. So maybe 3/3s, I guess. So
okay, so for arguing a little bit on the other side, when you said how much do you have in your hand, you just really need to trigger the draw 2 once. And that will probably dig you into some other action that can help continue this train going, right?
True, but you probably lost a lot while you played the 5-mana kind of nothing when you did that.
Yeah, the 5-mana 3/3 is really bad. What's the grade?
D. And I guess we're not gonna give it in color grade then, right?
Yeah, we'll pass.
Will pass. And I so hope that I'm wrong. I so hope that I'm wrong. Because it's an extremely cool card. I'm gonna try to play it a lot. And it's fine if I lose with it. It's okay. I want to play it a lot. And I want it to work. I hope I'm wrong. Because this is super cool card. But kind of everything that I know about Magic has taught me this has a very low chance of actually being good. Genova, Ancient Calamity. For 2 and a black and a green, it's a 1/5. But at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to Genova's power on up to one other target creature. That creature becomes a mutant in addition to its other types, and whenever a mutant you control dies during your turn, draw a card equal to its power. That's a lot. So 4 mana, 1/5, you get a +1/+1 on something right away. They better not block it, because yeah, you're gonna draw 1 billion cards. And if you equip this, and there is equipment, things get wild. I don't think it's a straight up bomb right away, but it is a dumb card. I think it's just a B++. I think it's gonna be amazing. I don't think it's right data bomb right away. Because this kind of slow in growing these things. And that works only on your turn. They can kill it and then it's kind of like, okay. The body is completely fine because it makes your board better. I don't think this is close to being a bomb territory, but not quite there yet, I think. So B++.
Helana Elena is a bomb, right?
Which card?
Helana and Elena is a bomb, right?
The 2/3?
From Midnight Hunt? The 2/3 that adds 2 counters and gives it haste?
Oh,
that card's a bomb.
It adds what? Equal to its power, right? Same.
Yeah, so this is significantly worse than Helana Elena, in my opinion.
Same. I agree.
Yeah, so this is the B++ for me as well. Helana Elena is a bomb. This card is much worse.
Much worse, but still great card.
Yeah.
Oh, this one is cool.
Okay, next card is the Wandering Minstrel. It's a green-blue, 2 mana for legendary creature, human bard. It's a 1/3. Lands you control enter untapped. Minstrel's Ballad. At the beginning of combat in your turn, if you control 5 or more towns, create a 2/2 elemental creature token that's all colors. 3. Wooburg. 8 mana total. Other creatures you control get +X until end of turn, where X is the number of towns you control. Oh, spicy. Yeah, this is heckin' spicy. So it's a 2 mana 1/3. It has a really spicy high upside effect if you control 1.5 billion towns. And when you have those 1.5 billion towns, which make 1.5 billion colors, you get a really strong pumping effect. This is like a D for me.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But it's really cool. It's really cool. 5 towns is incredibly hard. It is so crazy hard. It's in the last set, it's not easy to get 5 like non-basic lands. In this set, in the TDM, like I played decks with 5 up to 10 non-basic lands, but getting 5 on board is hard. So yeah, I'm on a D.
Actually, I think it's a D-.
D-, yeah, D-, because it's a D in color. Because it's a D in color, right?
Sure. I kind of think it's a D- in color. Well, untap. Okay, yeah, it's probably a D in color. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's gonna be something.
Yeah, sometimes. It's gonna D something, yeah.
I mean, it's 2 mana 1/3. It's blocking something. Okay. Let's go next. It's a really cool card that I don't know if it's really supported. Yeah, I hope we're gonna laugh at ourselves when we're gonna be like, man, it's so easy to get a lot of towns. I don't think it is, but I hope we're gonna be like when we play the set after a few weeks of playing it, we're gonna be like, man, remember how we laughed at this guy? Well, everybody's laughing at us now because the card is actually pretty good. Next up, we get the first 3-color card in this set. We're kind of used to them by this point because of playing so much TDM. For Choco, Seeker of Paradise. And it's Final Fantasy IX art. Yes. For 1 and a green and a white and a blue, you get a 3/5. And whenever one or more birds you control attack, look at that many cards from the top of your library. You may put one of them into your hand, put any number of land cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest into your graveyard. Oh, that's weird for these colors. Into the graveyard? Okay, no. Yeah, and this card also has landfall. Whenever land you control enters, Choco gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Man, they better freaking make the season pass have Chocobo pet. Cause that's the one that I want. Forever, probably. Okay, so this is like, this is for the minigame, right? Where, we're digging for treasures and for treasure, and that's that minigame that I played way too much, man. Final Fantasy games. Scotty, just so you know, if you're ever gonna play them in the future, the minigames make them. Of course, it's like huge story, huge game and everything, but the minigames are so like, you just spend a lot of times in them. That's like, some of them have card games, Scotty, and I spend like probably more time playing card games and collecting all the cards in them than actually playing the actual game. Oh, the double face cards are missing again. Okay, that's weird. We're gonna address that. Thanks for telling us. We're gonna get back to that. This is okay. It's 4 mana, kind of a little bit hard to cast, so we gotta work for it. Okay. Whenever this thing attacks, it's always gonna draw you a card, at least one. Maybe get multiple lands on the battlefield. If you have some other birds, and correct me if I'm wrong, green and red are the bird colors, but green is the main bird color. There are really good birds in green. Basically, all of them are chocobos, thank God. I know there's a really good green 2-drop that's actually chocobo, both common and uncommon, that maybe makes multiples. And when you attack with them, if you get multiple lands revealed, it means you put them in, and all of these chocobos have the effects of getting +1/+0 when this landfall ability, so now they can not die. Lots of birds not flying. Yeah, but basically all of them have the Saga seems kind of bad, the Chocomog. It seems kind of bad, but that's the one that I don't like. But there are enough birds. So it's probably gonna draw you a card when it enters the battlefield already. This one should be worth it. Green has enough common birds, right?
I think it's reasonable to play this in attack and get a trigger on the same turn.
Yeah, it's very reasonable.
The most unreasonable part is if you can hit your splash on turn 4.
Because it's 4 colors, I don't know how good splashing is gonna be. I think it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna start it as a B-. Very powerful, but what do you think, Scotty?
Yeah, the 3-color tax is really doing it for me. I was gonna start it as C.
Yeah, the 3-color text, we kind of forgot about it, but this was TDM was the set where it was so easy to splash. But then again, it doesn't feel that hard to... It doesn't feel like a super aggro set. I hope I'm right, because then these cards become much better. We gotta remember, guys, 3 colors is a real cost, even though it was pretty good. It was pretty easy in TDM to play those cards. Okay.
All right, we're talking about Noctis, Prince of Lucius. By the way, we will go back after this and try to find the MDFCs, yeah? Or the modals.
Yes,
the modal.
Of course.
Sorry, the Transformer cards.
Yes.
1 white, blue, black, 4 mana total for a legendary creature, human noble. It's a 4/3 with lifelink. You may cast artifact spells from your graveyard by paying 3 life in addition to paying their other costs. If you cast a spell this way, that artifact enters with a finality counter on it. Kind of. So this cuts in a couple ways. Because it's a 3-color card, I really want this to be pretty good at helping me survive. And it can, but it doesn't survive when it does, when it blocks.
Yeah, usually
so it does help you survive pretty well, but it doesn't survive after that, which then, okay, I paid a splash for gaining 4 life and trading off, which is not what I want for my 3-color card. So it's kind of weird in a sense that you kind of want this to live, but if you don't block, you're not gaining the life. But then that's the only way that you're surviving to then uh recast stuff from your graveyard. And 3 life is tough. For example, if this doesn't have a clean attack afterwards, you're just paying 3 life to just get incremental value. So ideally, you would like to attack, have this get through, and then use that life to like cast additional artifacts, etc. I'm not super high on this. I'm definitely lower on this than the Chocobo. I'm probably taking this at a D+.
And all the equipment doesn't really go in the graveyard that easily. Or this set has a good amount of artifacts, but not that easy. I'm just gonna give this a D. I don't think it's usually worth a splash. 4/3, it's gonna be like a 6-drop or maybe even a 7-drop in a lot of decks, I think, in these colors. So, no, the stat line is not good at that point. This one is good.
Yeah.
Sin. Pyrrha's Punishment. For 4 and a black and a blue and a green, so Sultai. It's a 7/7 flyer. When it enters or attacks, exile a permanent card from your graveyard at random, then create a tapped token that's a copy of that card. Either exiled card is a land card. Repeat this process. That's something. Sin, baby. They made it powerful. Hell yeah. I'm like fanboying over a lot of these cards. Scotty just doesn't give a damn. He's like, okay, you do your thing.
I mean, this is a big mushroom. I don't know what the big deal is.
Okay. Okay. So 7 mana, you're always gonna get something. Like you're always gonna get something. That like you get a lands, sure, whatever. But if you get lands, then things are dead. Things are dead at that point. When it enters, right away you get, who cares, many lands or no lands, whatever, but you're always gonna get some permanent that does something. Your graveyard count is not gonna be 0 when you play a 7-drop in 3 colors. So I'm into this. I think it's worth it. And it's in good colors to do this. And there are sagas. I'm gonna be on a B+ for this one, Scotty, even though it's a 7-drop.
Okay, I'll go B. Just to clarify, because I think this is pretty important as a dynamic for these 3-color cards. The tax that we give 3-color cards kind of is under the assumption that one of the colors is a splash, right? Which means that the later the game goes, the more likely you are to have your splash card.
Yeah.
So, for example, with Noctis, Lola was saying, oh, this is going to be like a 6 or 7 drop, right? But the tax basically almost is non-existent for Sin because it's, already a 6-7 drop.
Because it is going to be a 7-drop.
it is literally a 7-drop. So we don't really count the tax that much for this because you have a lot of time to find your splash color. So yeah, I'm on a B, but Lolo's on a B+.
Mm-hmm. Right, and now let's do, so how do we do this? How do we get the DFC cards now?
Let's try filter by commons as well.
Let's try filtering by rares and mythics.
And then let's just see if there's any. Yeah, because Kuja is the first one, right? Genome Sorcerer.
So we gotta filter by commons as well. Okay, I tried it mythics. Okay.
So give me 1 second. I'm stepping away.
That's a little bit weird. But commons, but it's nice because there are basically no commons.
Yeah.
There are no commons, right? So that's pretty.
Yeah,
nice.
There should be no common multicolored cards. So.
Alright, perfect.
Just skip the uncommons. Are you on Kuja as well?
Yeah, Kuja is the first one. Oh, but we got the uncommons as well. Never mind. Kuja, Genome Sorcerer for 2 and a black and a red. It's a 3/4. At the beginning of your end step, create a tapped 0/1 black wizard creature token with. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. Then, if you control 4 or more wizards, transform Kuja. And he's a wizard as well. Okay. You transform it into a 4/6 non-flyer If a wizard you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage instead. And this guy is a wizard as well. Okay, this is gonna be a team of, I think only black-red, but I can't remember exactly. Is gonna be making these 0-1 blizzards that are gonna sit around, maybe chump, but also deal damage when you play spells, which is extremely cool. And this, the Kuja just makes wizards every turn. Becomes a 4-6 and now they all deal 2 damage. And even if he dies, it created wizard or 2. Let me just see type wizard on common. Yeah, there's that one guy in red. 3 mana, 1/3 wizard that also makes a 0-1 wizard exactly same like this one. And there should be more things that make wizards. Like there's a rod in black. There's like a 3 mana sacrifice in black as well. Those are commons. Red. Oh, it's pretty easy to get wizards to just transform it pretty quickly. Yeah, this is very powerful. I'm just gonna give it a B+, B+. I'm just taking it super highly, even if I got a splash for it probably. But in a deck that kind of has a good amount of card draw and so on, and non-creatures. Artifacts are equipment is non-creatures. Oh, this is great. I think this is gonna be a very good archetype. You make 0-1 wizards and kill the opponent just by playing spells. An extremely powerful archetype. Extremely powerful.
I mean, it's a huge problem when you just get your second wizard, like already, and then on top of that, it just augments with wizards that you can just naturally create. I think this is a bomb. Sorry, what's this? Oh, Kuja. Sorry, I was looking under G for Genome Wizard for some reason. I'm giving this an A-. I think it's really, really good.
You're also gonna have other wizards like that.
Yeah, super duper good.
Yeah, just A-. Okay. We'll give it a A-, B+ and A- in color. Sure. I think this is gonna be a great archetype when you're doing this. I think there's very good support. Very, very good.
Okay. Next one is Sarah Farron. 1 green white for 3 mana legendary creature, human citizen. This is a 2/2. The first legendary creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 2 or more other legendary creatures, you may transform. Sarah Farron transforms into Crystallized Sarah. The first legendary creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. Legendary creatures you control get +2/+2, which ironically is not just a strict upgrade. Because you do lose a body.
Yep.
But your other creatures get buffed. The discount for legendary creatures is not nothing. There are there's a healthy amount of legendaries in this set. That being said, this is kind of an interesting / dicey card. There are a lot of legendaries, but it's still like, what's the percentage that you're going to end up creatures that are legendary versus non-legendary? I think that 50% is pushing it, you know?
No way you get 50% legendaries.
Yeah, it's like pushing it, right? That's like a lot of legendaries to have in your deck, you know?
There are no
So
common
I don't think,
legendaries, so
yeah, this
no
is going
way.
to be extremely, doesn't trigger off of much. So I think this card is quite bad. I think this is like a D.
Yeah, I think it's really bad. I'm gonna give it a D-. And in color, I think it's also a D-. It's a 3 mana 2/2. Fuck that. No.
Yeah, okay, I'll go D-.
No ceiling, nothing. No ceiling, nothing. Like,
yeah.
Nah, no, thank you. No, thank you. By the point where you have this flipped, I mean, probably gonna be fine, right? But no, I don't think this is a real card. Might be wrong, but that's my gut feeling. 3 mana 2/2s need a lot of work. At least be a 2/4 or something, not just reduce. Hope I'm wrong, it's pretty cool. Oh, that's it for the flip cards, rare flip cards, right?
I'm looking at Joshua Phoenix's Dominant.
Oh, that's rare. Sorry, my bad. Joshua Phoenix's Dominant. It's a 1 red and white 3/4. When it enters, discard up to 2 cards and draw that many cards. So similar to Ursa that we had in the last set. And you can pay 3. Oh, red and white and tap and exile Joshua, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control, activate only as sorcerer. Okay, so you got a 3/4. That's pretty good for 3. Loot, damage 2 times. That's very good. And then when it transforms, it's a 4/4 flyer with lifelink that deals 2 damage to each opponent on the first 2 phases. That's 2 lifelink damage, right? So you're gonna get deal 2 damage, gain 2 life, deal 2 damage, gain 2 life. And then, as the third step, this is gonna be a cycle. Return any number of target creature cards with total mana value 6 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Exile Phoenix, then return it to the battlefield. These are the, I think, only mythics. I can't. Oh, they're not only mythics because this is a rare. So there are rares and mythics. They're pretty sure there are mythics as well. Then that you can pay, tap as a sorcery speed, pay the mana, tap it, and exile. It comes back as like a transformed version, and then it's gonna come back as a creature. And I think all of them have ETBs. So you're gonna trigger so many things, and I think all of them have really good stat line. So these are gonna be crazy. These are gonna be... So the first... That part when you exile is like, you get so much life that you're extremely happy. If it comes to 3, you're gonna get a crap ton of creatures back from your graveyard. Even if it's just 1, it doesn't matter. And you're gonna get back a 3/4 that ramages 2 times. And 5 mana, you can do it all over again. But it has summoning sickness. So when you exile this saga, you cannot do it on the same turn. Please, that's something. I would say this is a bomb. I would say this is a bomb. I'm gonna give it an A- and A in color.
Yeah, this is a bomb. I am on the exact same grade.
That's very powerful.
Bomby.
All of these I think are gonna... I think all of these are gonna be bombs. So we are gonna get... We saw some pretty bad colorless rares, which is kind of nice, like as every deck can play them. You don't have to worry too much. So not crazy commons. Colorless rares, I like that. But we are gonna see these bombs that flip. Absolute Virtue. For... Oh, it's you Scotty. Your time to read.
Absolute Virtue is a 6 white blue, 8 mana total for legendary creature Avatar Warrior. It's an 8/8. This spell can't be countered. Flying. You have protection from each of your opponents, which means you can't be dealt by damage, enchanted, or targeted by anything controlled by your opponents. Notably, this card has no protection for itself. It doesn't mean that it has protection from your opponents. It just means that you can't, which means if you play Absolute Virtue and your opponent smorks at you and you don't block and they don't kill it, it just doesn't deal damage. You just can't be hit. Your life total doesn't change, but you can't take damage until Absolute Virtue dies. It will probably play out pretty similar to like Platinum Angel, except this is an 8/8. Except it's an 8/8. So that's pretty big. I think the effect is good. It's good. The effect is good.
The effect is broken, but
yeah,
good.
It's 8 mana. It's also notably speaking, like unlike Platinum Angel, it's not like you can get to negative and then they wait until they kill it. If you drop this when your life total is 24, it's gonna stay 24.
Yeah.
Right. And then they kill it, and then you have 24 life. Pretty stinking good. Pretty stinking good. I'm also not particularly afraid of this like dying in combat. This will definitely be able to attack into your opponent's stuff, so it will put a pretty good clock on your opponent. But it's 8 mana. It's 8 mana. That being said, I'm still going to take this pretty highly because even if it's 8 mana, and even if blue-white doesn't necessarily want this, it's easy to splash into like a blue-green deck. So I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's a B+.
Yeah, like if this doesn't die, if they don't have a removal spell, you win. But if they do have a removal spell, you're in a bad spot. Because you just had an 8 mana card in your hand for so long and then you finally played it. The thing it is an 8 mana where if they don't remove it, it's over. The game is over. So it's not like there is infinite things that just remove this, right? It's unconditional removal. It's not gonna. Sorry, Scotty, what?
Oh no. I'm sorry. You go. I think you're gonna say the same thing. Your turn.
Like, yeah, it's 2 damage, -X, -X, things like that. They gotta use destroy or exile target creature. And there is enough of that, but. And it is an 8 mana creature. Damn, it is an 8 mana creature, right? Like with 8 mana, you kind of want to just for sure win the game. No, the white removal targets it. The black removal, sure, you can bounce this or move it on the top. Shuffle it in the opponent's deck with a blue common removal. Then there's uncommon removal. There are ways to kill this, but it's no ETB. But they must get rid of it. They must. It's so weird, right? They must get rid of it. And Platinum Angel is smaller, but also doesn't protect you from everything, right? It's you can go to negative life, then they kill Platinum Angel, and you lost the game.
Platinum Angel also doesn't close the game in 2 turns.
That is also true. This is an 8/8 flyer. Probably, yeah. I think it's 1 up to 2 turns. 90% of the games. 3 sometimes, sure. It's hard. It's hard to grade this because, as everybody in the chat is saying, no ETB, 8 mana. But usually, when we grade like this, like high cost rares and so on that have no ETB, they don't need to be removed. Like, they don't need to. I'm gonna give it a B- because of 8 mana. But I can see it going higher. Because the set doesn't feel that fast. But if the set is fast, you can't have an 8 mana card that has no ETB. You kinda can't. And there's enough things that kill it, right?
Yep. There's enough things that killed it. I mean, but like 8 toughness is a form of protection. Like, it doesn't read it, but it does make it so that not everything does kill this. Like, I'd way rather have this 8 toughness than a lower toughness with like Ward 2 or something dinky.
I mean, the red common also kills it for 7 mana.
I mean, that's true, but yeah, by the time yeah, that's true.
Green can kill it as well with the removal with a kick, because you return a land and then you deal double damage to something. So this is actually kind of easy to remove in this set. That's not normal. Like, very easy for green common removal, always kills it. Like, you just need a 4-powered creature because it doubles the damage it deals. Red removal for 7 mana, common. I'm talking about commons. It deals 8 damage. Black removal, it just kills it. White removal, it just exiles it. Blue removal also shuffles it in the opponent's deck. Doesn't just bounce it. And those are commons. Right? The blue removal, the ice magic, for 8 mana, but you just paid 8 mana. I don't know if they're gonna have it. They can just bounce it or put it on top as well for 2 or 4 mana. But if they have 8, they just shuffle it to your library. That's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things that they need to have within 1 or 2 turns. But that does make it significantly worse.
I am gonna give it a B-, but I can see it being way lower because of all of the reasons. I think very good looting that exists makes it a lot better. A lot better. I do think that there's very good looting in this set. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm blue or whatever, or maybe splashing some things, and I just put it in the graveyard. When I can't play it. So started as a B-, knowing color grade, like this is splashable and so on, but I don't think it's ever gonna be a B+. Scotty, let's we're gonna see.
Oh, I changed mine to B- if I didn't say that out loud.
Sephiroth, Planet's Heir. For 4 and a blue and a black, it's a 4/4 vigilance. When it enters, creatures your opponents control get -2/-2 until end of the turn. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Sephiroth.
Skip.
That's a lot.
Skip.
Skip?
Skip it. Terra.
Skip it. That is a card that is not in the set. It's in the starter set. Yuna. Hope of Spyra. Yeah, that's why, look at these two arts. It's so different. Like, this is the Yuna that I remember. But anyways, 3 and a green and a white, it's a 3/5. During your turn, Yuna and enchantment creatures you control have Trample, Lifelink, and Ward 2. Huh. At the beginning of your end step, return up to 1 target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Booba. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Wait, that's a lot. So during your turn, this is a Ward 2, 3, 5 with Trample, Lifelink. And you can just keep getting back the sagas. That seems nice. Those are the only enchantment creatures, right? No, any enchantment card. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, there's...
Like if you mill yourself, you mill something over, yeah.
Okay, I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Just if you have some sagas, this is amazing. I'm just gonna give it a B. B and B plus in color.
I'll go B plus initially.
Okay.
I really do think the Ward 2 initially means that it's really hard to remove this the turn it comes down. And then you get your immediate value, hopefully.
And it is end step.
Okay,
really B plus. Okay, B plus for me as well.
Yeah, B plus. B plus for me.
B plus. It is end step. Ah, VV.
Why is this not? Oh, there it is. Sorry. Sorry, can you read the next one?
VV or Nishir. I never knew the surname. I never knew that. It was always VV to me. But in my first playthrough, it was Ivan, my brother. For 1 and a blue and a red, it's a 0/3. For 0 mana, add X mana in any combination of blue or red, where X is VV or Nishir's. I never knew this surname. Power. Activate only during your turn and only once each turn. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on VV. And it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So it's like a wizard, the 0/1 wizard, but it grows. And oh, that's nice! This is very good! No, this seems extremely powerful in limited. If they kill it, I just kill the 3-drop, it's okay. Anything you cast, right? You cast 1... And you can use this red or blue mana, any combination, for anything. It can be anything. So you play like equipment card draw, that is very good card draw. Very good card draw. Not the best card in the set, no way, absolute 0% chance. Because it needs work, right? But it's very, very, very good. Oh, I'm so happy that it's good. I freaking love VV. You just play things, you can... If you play 2 things, it's so easy to double spell, triple spell with this, and you keep adding mana every turn, and you deal the damage, and it grows. This is so much. This is so much. On turn 3, it blocks the 2-drop. It doesn't just scale. Like, the scale is nice, but it's not just scale. It's like you cast more cards. This is a $90 card? Yeah, I can see that. It's gonna be good in limited in this set. It's gonna be good. Like few turns, and if it becomes just a 1/3/2/5, it blocks super well, and it's gonna ramp you so much. You can do. Holy man! I'm just gonna give this a B plus. I mean, you gotta be in color. You're not gonna splash this really, right? It is gonna be crazy in limited. There is flashback. It's so easy to play this. I'm gonna give it a B and a B plus in color. I think it gives you enough. Because of all the flashbacks.
I was gonna start it as a B as well.
Yeah?
It's also really nice that there's things to sink your mana into in this set. I think more so than usual.
Yeah.
So
and equipment.
You're always gonna be able to use that mana for something. Yeah. And I think that's gonna be extremely valuable.
Yeah.
Lightning Army of 1. 1 red, white for legendary creature, human soldier. It's a 3/2 with first strike, trample, and lifelink. Stagger. Whenever lightning deals combat damage to a player into your next turn, if a source would deal damage to that player or a permanent that player controls, it deals double damage instead. Okay, so like the effect is fine, right? The effect's fine.
No, effect is crazy.
I mean, it just doubles your like burn spells, right? Or no. Sorry, it doubles your normal creature's attacks.
Everything. It doubles everything.
Yeah, it doubles your normal creature's attacks on everything, as long as this hits the player. As long as this hits the player.
Yeah.
I don't think that is going to be. It's going to be extremely easy to do in the first like 5 turns of the game, I think.
Equipment.
And then you probably need equipment to continue on with that thing. Although this is still kind of just busted with just its keywords.
Yeah, it's a 3 to first strike trample lifelink.
Yeah, this is kind of just busted with its keywords, and any sort of, it just goes up from there. Yeah. Sure, there's going to be some boards where like lightning just sits here and does nothing eventually, but it's really not that hard to make this completely bonkers. And it's already completely bonkers on curve. I think this is a B+.
Yep. That seems fine. B+, and I could even go to an A-, but let's start with B+, but I can see it being A-. Because it's also gonna be huge against those freaking wizards. And there is that, you know what, I don't know if I like it, but there is that like sorcery -1/-1 to the whole board spell that just might be pretty good. Because I think I would be surprised if the 0/1 wizards is not gonna be one of the better archetypes in this set, and we're gonna see. And then there's also that 3 mana 2/1 that makes a 1/1 blue common, which is completely busted. So there's that one. There is an uncommon in red that deals 1 damage to everything if you want for 1 mana or something. And then there is an uncommon in black, I think, that's -1/-1 to creatures your opponent control. Which is gonna kind of mess up that archetype. So in best of 3, you're gonna have like super good counters to that. So interesting set so far, even though we didn't get to those cards. Super interesting. Cloud, Planet's Champion.
Skip.
Is a skip because that's not a card that is in this set. Did we miss on any mythic?
Yep, transforms.
Transforms?
Emmett Selk, Unsundered. Yep, is the next one we're going to read.
Okay, go.
Emmett Selk, Unsundered. 1 blue, black. For a legendary creature, Elder Wizard, it's a 2/4 with Vigilance. Whenever Emmett Selk enters or attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 14 or more cards in your graveyard, you may transform Emmett. Transforms into Hades, Sorcerer of Eld. The legendary creature Avatar, it's a 6/6 with Vigilance. Echoes of the Lost. During your turn, you may play cards from your graveyard. If a card or token would be put into your graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. 14 is a bazillion. Math with us. 14 equals a bazillion.
It's bazillion.
So that's probably not gonna happen, but it's still a 3 mana loot, and it loots when it attacks, which is solid. I'm really not going to count the backside for much unless you think that it's more possible to get to 14, but I think 14 is going to be so difficult in a game. I just barely think it's ever going to happen. So for me, this is like worse than the uncommon, I think, for me. So I think it's like a CC+.
I don't think 14 is impossible in this set. There is a black 2 mana, look at the top 3 cards to get 1 into your hand, the rest into the graveyard. And it has flashback for I think 7. There's some surveil. There is this archetype has good looting, so not easy, but I think it is definitely gonna happen. What do you give it?
I'll give it a C plus B minus then.
I want to B minus B. Just this effect, draw card is amazing on a 2/4.
I mean,
Vigilance.
Do you think this is better than Locke?
Locke is the Death Toucher?
Oh, I guess you have it rated worse than Locke, so yeah, it makes sense.
I'll
Yeah. Okay.
But I think they're not that far apart, because this has vigilance and it loots right away, and it can transform. It can, and there is equipment, right? Also, that can make this a bit easier to attack. I think the transforming is gonna happen, but just this front side is amazing, amazing. Oh.
Next one should be Terra, Magical Adept.
Yeah.
I'll read it.
Okay.
1 red green for a 3-mana legendary creature, human wizard warrior. It's a 4/2. When Terra enters, mill 5 cards. Put up to 1 enchantment card milled this way into your hand. Trance, 4 red green, exile Terra, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery. Becomes Esper Terra, which is a saga creature, which is a flying 6/6. Chapter 1, 2, and 3. Create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary enchantment you control. It gains haste. If it's a saga, put up to 3 lore counters on it. Sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. And then chapter 4, you add Wooburg, but double Wooburg. Exile it and return to the battlefield, which turns it up front face up. This is a weird card. This is a very, very strange card. It's a very strange all around. It trades with basically anything on curve. It doesn't block particularly well, but it can trade up if you need it to, if you just need it to in a pinch. On 6 mana, you get reasonable value, right? Getting the tokens, and if you copy a saga, means you get to copy that saga's chapter 1 over and over again. I'm not sure what to make of adding lore counters onto the saga. I'm not sure if that's like going to be a good thing, but you can choose. You can always choose, right?
Yep.
You can always choose to like ultimate sagas early. So choices are always good. Choices are always fantastic. You can't put saga's counters on itself, right? Oh yeah. Do you get if you add 3 counters, do you get all the chapters up until that point?
Wait, no, I don't think so. I think no. You get the last one. It's same like, remember when we had reading ahead. Yeah, reading ahead. When we had reading
it's
ahead.
like reading ahead.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to figure this out eventually. We have to figure that out eventually.
What do we have to figure out?
No, okay. Well, it just Andrew was saying the opposite, but I I guess. Well, now chat seems a little split on it. How consistent is mill 5 get a card back? I don't think that's like super consistent in most decks, because it's like some additional enchantments plus the saga creatures. Yeah, we need a judge. we clearly need a judge for this.
Wait, you can. It doesn't matter, right? Because you're probably almost never gonna use it all. But yeah.
I mean, you might if you get all the chapters. That's kind of a big deal.
Not really, because this like in this set it's not about. It's about like first one is good. It's sure. Nice. It's nice, right? It can be nice, but a lot of times it's not that important, because like you kind of want a creature to stay alive, right? Wow, when you add lore counter to sagas, if you add multiple counters at once, all the trigger chapter abilities go on the stack. Yes, they all go on the stack. They all go on the stack. Got it.
Okay. Regardless, I think this card's pretty good. You know, it's like a kind of okay medium 3-drop. Depends on how consistent the enchantment is in your deck. That transforms into a huge beater that gets some decent value. So I think that's quite strong. I think this is like a B for me. B+.
Okay, you have crazily oversimplified it after talking so long about something that doesn't matter that much.
Well, I mean,
this is crazy.
I think it does matter, but it's the fact that it's on the back. How dare you? All right, what do you find? Say your piece.
Okay. Okay, please let me continue. 5 minutes on the if you can resolve a couple of saga things in the same time in a set that kind of wants that creature most of the time to stay alive. So it's a 3 mana 4/2. Okay, not great stats, but mill 5. It's gonna draw you a card a good amount of times. Like I think there are common sagas and there is enough of them. That's the first thing, and then there's a good amount of uncommon enchantments. They don't have to be sagas. Like there's a good amount. A very, very healthy amount. Not just sagas that are summons. There's, I think, really, really good green uncommon 2-drop, for example. So you can get a little bit more things there. And it doesn't really matter that much. Like, they kind of gotta kill this. Because if you are gonna play that one saga, just one, as Cory said it, you pay 6, you get a pretty huge beater and kind of nice value. You're copying the saga creatures and the enchantments 3 times. Kind of nice value, huh, Cory?
Lola is an enemy of the truth.
That's not kind of nice value. You're just getting like 3 creatures and other effects while having a 6/6, and this is gonna go back to the here on the battlefield, and you're gonna maybe get more things with milling, and you're gonna do it again. And while you have a 6/6 flyer, like, it kind of needs to be removed basically always if you have one enchantment. With 5 cards milling, 10 hits in the deck to have 80% rate. Yes, but you don't even need that. Like, you just need a saga on the battlefield when you're doing this, right? You just need to have it drawn, not from these 5 cards, but just drawn. You just need to have it in your hand, and you need to play it. And then opponent's gonna be like, okay, I gotta kill this shitter. I gotta kill this thing. And if they do, fine. If they don't, Jesus Christ. I guess the first effect is gonna be, if you have a lot of enchantments, it's crazy because, like, if 70-80% of the times, if it draws you a card from those, that is really, really powerful. Because then, like, even if they kill it, you got your 2-for-1. But if you transform it, have any enchantment on the battlefield, the game is done most of the times. It's only 6 as well. Oh, this has to get exiled, so these are gonna be interesting. Like, if your opponent has instant speed removal, you use this. They can kill this, right? Because it's an effect to exile it. So that's pretty cool. What did you give it?
I gave it a B.
I'm gonna just give it a B+. And well, let's not give it an in-color grade then, because I mean, I would say it's an A- ceiling, but I don't know. They're not giving ceilings, but in-color grades. But let's just keep it as a B+, B+ then for me.
Okay.
You get it's such a complex card. I can't believe it.
What's wrong? I just want to know how the rules work. Why are you clowning on me for that?
Oh my god! And it's like, oh, it's I kind of get this, get that. It's kicker.
Fine, we just won't know how the card works.
Oh lord! All right.
All right, I got this. Kefka Court Mage, 2 blue, black, red. It's 4/5. It does something.
Does something. So that's
it does something.
You guys figure it out. You guys figure it out. Let's go next.
Yeah, you figure it out. Kefka is a 4/5 that whenever Kefka enters or attacks, each player discards a card. Then you draw a card for each card type among cards discarded this way. 8 mana, each opponent sacrifices a permanent of their choice. Transform Kefka, activate only as a sorcery. It's weird. It's a weird ability. Yeah. Kefka, Ruler of Ruin, which is a Avatar Wizard 5/7 with a flying. Whenever an opponent loses life during your turn, you draw that many cards.
Well, that's weird.
Okay. So this is a weirdo card. This is a very, very strange card to me. So when it enters, it is card advantage when it enters. That's nice. You either draw 1 or 2 cards. Okay. Darn it. I was trying to hope for a joke here, but I actually don't understand how this card works.
Wait. What was the joke? What was the joke? And then first.
The joke is like I wouldn't, but I actually don't know how this card works. Who chooses first when you discard?
Don't you do it at the same time? Same like sacrificing?
You do, right? And then they both get revealed at once?
Yes.
You choose at the same time and then you both and then something.
Yeah,
okay,
same like sacrificing.
Got it.
Okay, so what was the joke?
No, the joke was that like I was making the joke that this card is easier to understand, but then we would make it so that, whatever. It's not a good joke. Anyway, pay 8 mana to make your opponent sack a land, and then you flip this, and then the flip side may just kill you.
You don't have to flip it.
Which is, yeah, you don't have to flip it. It's decent, right? It's decent. The ETB and attack is decent. It gets you value immediately, and then you get more value as you continue to attack with it, right? We posited when we're talking about the uncommon Dimir card, like what would happen if it was just draw a card. This is that card, right? This is that card.
No, it's much better, way better.
Yeah.
Opponent has to discard, right?
Yeah, so it's huge card advantage. Huge card advantage.
And you discard something that you don't care about and draw.
Yeah.
And you can like discard.
Yeah.
If you discard multiple types, right?
So obviously it doesn't work that well. Yeah, if you discard a Saga enchantment creature, you draw 2 cards.
Or
right?
artifact creature, right?
Yeah, artifact creature. It's pretty dang good. Right? This is pretty dang good.
It's crazy. It's just the question how easy it is to splash it.
How easy it's to splash, and if you can get it to in play before your opponent has 0 cards. But even if you're just rummaging, it could be pretty strong. So yeah, I think this is like a B for me. This is a B.
These colors there's a 2/2 black red on common that makes a treasure when it dies. So that helps Tom. There's also a common 3/4 that makes a treasure in black. I'm gonna give it a B as well. I mean, it's not in green, so hard to splash. I don't know, I don't think it's that hard. And this is so much. Jesus Christ, it gives you so much. And yeah, I don't know if you transform it, but opponent sacrifices a permanent if you do. And you get a huge thing. I don't think it's... Like, you're not gonna use it if it kills you, right? Right? You're just not gonna use it.
You may not know that at the time.
I don't know. I'm not sure that you're not gonna know. I'm pretty sure that you are gonna know.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, I'm on a B as well, just because it's 3 color. I don't think every deck can play it, but I can see it going to like an A- or a B+. If it is a little bit easier to splash, but just a crazy card. And if this was in this set, this would be crazy powerful. If it was in TDM, I'm not sure if it's gonna be as easy to splash. This would be like a bomb in TDM, I would say. But not sure if it's gonna be as good. But it's gotta be good. Okay, that's it for we covered all of the DFCs, right?
Yep, that was all the multicolored cards, I think.
All right, and then that means we can go back to mana value, right? Sort by mana value, because that's like super important for the commons.